So let's say you're looking for some pictures to use in your iMovie. A good place to look would be Google Images. So you could just go to Google and then obviously click on Images, and then it's only going to search the words that you put in for images. So let's say I'm doing a project on horses. So I'm going to type in horses, see what kind of pictures I get back. Alright, these are pretty decent pictures. It's really easy on a Mac to go ahead and copy these pictures onto the desktop. I usually like to look and see that they've actually made it onto the desktop, so I'm going to scoot this off to the side. Let's say this is the picture that I'm interested in. All I'm going to do is click on it, and then I'm going to hold it. Oops. I'm going to click and drag, and it'll pop up here. Now, you have to make sure that it's a JPEG. If it comes up as something other than a JPEG, then that is a problem, because it might come up saying that it's a website page. If it's a website page, if it starts with an HTTP, that's not going to work because it's an actual link to a web page, not to a picture. So let's look, I'm going to close this because I don't need that. So I'm going to look for another picture. Wow, okay, here's a crazy looking horse. So I'm going to go ahead, once again, I'm going to click and drag and drop it right onto the desktop. And let's say I like this picture, I'm going to click and drag it right onto the desktop. See how they're all saying JPEG, JPEG? So those I know will fit just fine in my iMovie. I'm going to go ahead, drag this one as well, click and drag, another JPEG. Now, you have to remember, if you are going to be using these pictures in something other than just in school use, if you're going to publish this and put this to the outside world, then you really can't use these images off of Google. You have to use ones that are in common property, and Creative Commons is a really common one, and that'll allow you to use pictures that people have uploaded and put on and said, yeah, it's okay if you use these pictures as long as you give me credit. But if this is just something that you're using for school, it shouldn't be a problem. So once you have a fair amount of pictures from Google, now you're ready to put them into your iMovie. So I'm going to go ahead and minimize this. Remember, on a Mac, anytime you can just go up to this little question mark, or I'm sorry, spyglass up here, and if you're trying to find an application, you can just click on it and type in, if you're looking for iMovie, you would type in iMovie, GarageBand, type in GarageBand. That's a really quick way to find any application that you want to use. So I already have my iMovie sitting down here in the dock, so I'm just going to pull that up. Now, this is a project that I was working on previous, so I'm going to start a new project. And you start a new project by going to File, New Project, and you'll see in a second it's going to say, okay, well, what kind of new project do you want? Well, I'm going to keep it basic, so I'm going to call this Horses. I'm going to name it. And everything else you can just keep the same, so I'm going to click Create. Now it's got little placeholders right here, ready to go for me to drop in my pictures. If you look down here, these are where I have all my video clips put. And so these are all different video clips that I've taken over time. Video clips you can import in a different way, and I'll show you that in just a second. But basically, all you have to do now is take your pictures, which are right here on the desktop, and drag them in the order that you want them to be in. So I'm going to click on it, select it, drop it right here, and it pops right up. Now, let's say you're interested in pulling in a picture that's in a photo booth, or let's say it's in a folder that's on the computer somewhere. So see right here the little camera, you just click on that, because that's talking about pictures. So now I can look and see all the different pictures that I have stored in iPhoto. And I can obviously take any of these pictures right here. Let's see, I don't have any horse pictures in here. So I'm going to go ahead and I will drop a picture of the library in here just for the heck of it, just to demonstrate this to you. So I can drop in a picture of some boxes and horses running through boxes. They appear. Alright, something you need to be aware of though, unless you check it off in preferences, it will automatically default to the Ken Burns effect, which is this in-out kind of. You can go to File, Project Properties, click on that, and then it'll say Initial photo placement includes Ken Burns. If you do not want Ken Burns to come up, you can just say fit in frame and click OK. So now when I drag a picture in, let's say I'm going to pull this one in, it should not give me the Ken Burns effect. So that's, if you know you don't want the Ken Burns effect on anything, see how that one moves and now that one doesn't? If you already know you don't want to have that moving in and out, because frankly you're going to have to go back and change each one if it's not moving the way that you want it to move, then I would go ahead and, remember, you go up to File, Project Properties, and you can just uncheck the Ken Burns effect. Now let's say I want to import some movies that I've taken. You can obviously use the movie camera and take video right from your computer, and it will go ahead and it will put it right down here as part of your video that you can use, or you can import video. I happen to have a video sitting right here, a screen recording right here on my desktop. So I want to bring that in because I can't just drag and drop it in. If you notice, I'll try and drag it. It doesn't like it. Boom, it bops right back. So you want to go to File, Import, Movies. And then it's going to ask you, well, where do you want to import them from? I want to import it from the desktop. So I'm going to go ahead and click on my screen recording. It's going to ask you, well, where do you want to put this as an event in iMovie? So I have lots of different events right here, if you notice. So I'm going to call this one, I'm going to create a new event, and I'm going to say that this is screen casting for adding video pics. Oh, doesn't like that. So I'm going to put video, I'll say for adding video. I want to keep it at the full size. Now I'm going to, I've already selected it, so I'm going to click Import. And it's going to take a moment to process importing this. Okay, so it has finished and it has just added in my video right down here into its new little event, screencasting for adding video. Now I can go ahead and I can select that and I can pick whatever part I want and bring it, drag it, and plop it right into my little horse video that I created.